Spring has sprung, which means you might be looking around at your apartment decor and feeling that itch to do a little spring styling refresh. And maybe you're like me, and a lot of the mass-produced spring decor hitting the shelves out there just doesn't quite do it for you. Maybe your interior style would lean more towards powerful spring equinox witch and less towards cute but basic Easter bunny. Nothing against the Easter bunny. I mean, he was really good to me when I was growing up. My Easter baskets were bountiful. But aesthetically speaking, not my vibe. I need a little bit more moody magic in my decor, personally, even in spring. So in this video, I'm going to give you some witchy decor ideas for spring that really tap into that moody, enchanting, wild, and nature-oriented elements of the season. Think Practical Magic House meets Green Witch's Cottage meets Wild Woman Howling at the Moon in a Field of Flowers. Because who says you have to choose between floral and feral? And if you're new here, my name is Steffi and this is Hilo, and on this channel I talk about apartment styling tips, cozy living, and the joys of living alone. So if you're into that, consider subscribing and giving this video a like. So this video is going to be split into two main parts: visual inspiration and then specific decor pieces I found. And let's dive into the visual inspiration first so you can get a sense of what I mean when I talk about this kind of witchy spring decor look. And to begin with, I want to show you an Instagram account called howling. Her whole aesthetic really embodies what I'm talking about. On one hand, her style is light and airy and very spring. And on the other hand, she has this dark witchy edge, that mood that I crave, you know? I love a good duality between the soft feminine and the dark mystique. And she really shows that the two aren't mutually exclusive. It's pretty and powerful, and there's power in the pretty. And I especially love the idea of creating a little curiosity corner like this for spring with pink florals, apothecary bottles, and a little dash of the macabre. You could do something like this for your spring decor refresh, you know? Choose a surface in your space and buy a few pretty little things like this, which again, I'll show you some decor options to consider in the second part of this video. And you'll end up with a nice, visually interesting, multi-dimensional vignette for spring. She also has another Instagram account for her shop, which is a whole other source of visual inspiration for this look, so I'll link to both. Definitely check her out. There's also a YouTube channel, Hedge, Hearth, and Harvest, and I think you guys would love her content if you don't already. She has vlogs centered around decorating her witch's cottage, homesteading, and green witch lifestyle content. And she very much exemplifies this whole ethos I'm talking about. Her style is very earthy and antique-y, and I think you could definitely find some inspiration for spring in her videos, as well as just a relaxing, wholesome experience watching her. Her videos are just so soothing and lovely, so I definitely recommend you check her out as well. And then Alwyn Oak is another YouTube channel you can get some stunning inspiration from. I think this video of hers is a great one to start with. She takes you through her forest witch home, and it's full of witchy decor ideas that would be beautiful for a spring refresh. I'm also personally a fan of her darker color palette paired with green. Her home feels natural and earthy and really shows that you don't have to go full pastel in order to create that fresh feeling for spring. I think with these inspo accounts I've shown, you have Hell Arkin, who demonstrates a soft, blushy color palette, and then Alwyn Oak and Hedge Hearth and Harvest demonstrate the earthy greens and browns. And then when you add the witchy elements to any color palette, like these lovely ladies have, it brings so much depth, meaning, and symbolism to the overall picture of your space. I mean, the folklore and just the cultural significance of what witches represent inherently brings a certain level of power to a room's decor. It's more than an aesthetic contribution to your decor. It's a metaphorical one as well. It's feminine strength. It's a celebration of individuality. It's a rejection of the status quo. And I mean, as our country descends further and further into straight up fascism, this witchy ethos is more meaningful than ever. Actually, all creative expression is more meaningful than ever in times like these. Whatever your personal style is, keep in mind that it's important. The act of decorating is not just like pretty material things. It's about agency and self-expression. And in a world that's becoming more and more oppressive, we have to cling to our individuality and creativity. And before I go off on a rant, I'm gonna stop myself there. Basically, the witch aesthetic is more than an aesthetic. It's a statement. All personal style is. So now that you have a clearer visual idea of this style, let's get into some specific decor pieces I found. And honestly, I know I've said this many times before, but with a style like this, the best thing you can do is go to your local antique store. But if you don't have an antique store nearby, or you just want to get some ideas for what to look for, here are some things I found on Etsy that I think would be perfect for a witchy spring decor refresh. First, there are these vintage botanical prints, which really hit upon the green witch and springtime vibes because flowers. And there's just something about old-timey science journal botanical illustrations that feels enchanting yet also scholarly, like something a real learned witch would have in her kitchen. And these pieces would bring in a nice old world apothecary look to a room, along with a sense of time-worn magic, like pages pulled from an herbal grimoire or a woodland witch's journal. They give off an earthy magic, you know? The kind that comes from the soil and flourishes in spring. And simply put, they look like something you would find in the Practical Magic house, don't you think? And they're actually vintage. So again, if you don't have an antique store nearby, Etsy can be a great place to source antiques. So something to keep in mind. The next piece is this delicately painted animal skull. Now, I know this won't be for everyone, but as a piece of art, you can't deny its beauty. The floral line work creates a really poetic contrast against the bone. I mean, it's the cycle of life, death, and rebirth, which defines spring. In a sense, this skull has been reborn as floral art. It's the kind of decor that represents Earth's transitions, celebrating beauty and decay and new beginnings at the same time. I'm feeling very poetic today, apparently. And the poetry of it aside, it would definitely just make a really striking statement in any room. The next witchy idea I have for you is to get a tarot card deck. Maybe one that fits into the go-to springtime color palette like this one. I love the marriage of the feminine pink with the mysticism of tarot. It really does play into this witchy but for spring look we're talking about. And if you're not into tarot, I get it as a very secular, non-spiritual person myself. But tarot cards can be used for something as simple as getting ideas for a project or just for entertainment. And also, a tarot card deck would be lovely as coffee table decor, for example. Each card is a piece of art, and for me, that's enough, because art is inherently worthwhile. But also, a deck can be a nice conversation starter with guests, or something to flip through while you're cozied up on your couch listening to music. Tarot is more diverse than you might think, and these ones are perfect for a witchy springtime look. Next, this crescent moon wreath would be such a pretty addition to a magical spring decor refresh. I mean, I'm a sucker for flowers and sparkles, so I immediately love something like this. But aside from its prettiness, it really captures this dance between spring's soft, blushy florals, its grounded earthiness, and its whimsy. And the golden moon charm and hanging crystal prisms add an ethereal touch, catching the light and casting little rainbows. I mean, that's pure springtime magic. And this piece is cool because it's simultaneously very girly and also looks like a pagan favor. There's that duality that I love so much. Same idea with this pillow, only it's like a printed version of this celestial floral motif. You have the marriage of the earthy blooms of spring with the otherworldly mystique of the moon, which is a very powerful visual union. I also personally like that this has this springy floral element, but would also bring a pop of black to a spring decor refresh. I don't care if it's spring, I need my moody black things in order to feel comfortable in my space. Next up is this pressed flower piece, which not only looks super springy, but it also has such a pretty stained glass effect. Imagine this hanging against a window with the sunlight drenching the glass and the flowers. Pure sunny botanical magic. I mean, this style is all about embracing the power of nature, and the idea of charging up flowers with sun power just feels right. It's also handmade by the Etsy seller, and she says she carefully selects each flower. So it really is a true artistic collaboration between nature and human. And now, as with pretty much every witchy decor video I make, I must recommend apothecary bottles. I just can't not do it. I can't help it if they're perfect for this style. I think about a kitchen with various bottles and jars of herbs and vintage style vessels of all kinds coming together to create a witch's apothecary that says, I'm harnessing the power of nature and concocting brilliant things in here, so leave me be. And you can use bottles like these functionally for herbs and spices, or you can use them as vases for small stems and sprigs. Either way, they're a simple but effective way to convey the witchy springtime vibe. Moving along, I think any coffee table or shelf styling arrangement would benefit from a crystal of any kind. And rose quartz, like these in particular, would be lovely for this look because they'd bring in that springy pop of pink, but in a cool, powerful way. And I like how they have a few of them in a bowl here, like a little bowl of sparkles that would enchant any surface you put them on in your space. And I'm personally a lover of using crystals as decor myself. I have this one on my coffee table and these next to my TV. I just love them. I mean, how cool is it that geology creates such pretty things? Science, man. And now if your kitchen allows for it, I think having a kitchen rack like this to hang dried flowers and herbs and copper pots and pans on would be perfect for this style. Very practical magic kitchen, you know? Especially copper pots. They actually look so good when they're out, like a piece of decor that's also functional. And when I think of the practical magic kitchen in particular, I think of their copper pots. And a kitchen rack would be a great way to display them without having to take up additional counter space. And imagine hanging some dried flowers and herbs to complement the copper. It would be so pretty and so perfect for a witchy spring. And when it comes to dried flowers, whether you incorporate a kitchen rack or not, I would definitely find ways to hang them in some fashion upside down like this, you know? It's such an easy, budget-friendly way to embrace this garden witch vibe. I think combining it with copper pans with a kitchen rack would be lovely, but you can also keep it simple with something like this. There are a lot of options like these on Etsy, or you could DIY it. You could even simply use some twine and clothespins and then just call it a day. Whichever way you go, I feel like there's just nothing that says witchy springtime decor more than dried florals and herbs hanging upside down. So those were my witchy decor ideas for spring. Let me know in the comments, how do you decorate for spring if you do? I personally, I don't do seasonal decor. I think just due to laziness and not wanting to spend extra money, I've been spending money on new decor to just have out perennially. And so I can't be spending more money on just seasonal specific decor, you know? I'm really excited to show you what I bought, by the way. Specifically, I'm finally making moves to redecorate my bedroom. And if you want to see the direction I'm heading for that, watch this video. I show you my vision for my bedroom and my ideas and how I pull them together and mood board them to help me make decisions. So you could kind of consider this video part 1 to my bedroom redecorating series. So give this a watch if you want to see where my head's at for my bedroom and the dark, moody vibe that you can expect when it's done.